computer, and then I'll just let everybody in. And I'll pin you. So you're going to be the main part of our screen. Okay, so hello everybody and welcome. This is our second talk of the festival, and we're lucky to have Petra with us. Petra's, I guess, an illustrator who works in fashion and live events, and I guess works in many different disciplines. Has a really unique sort of style, a combination of sort of old illustration, hand drawing to, I guess, new media. Um, and is it's really good to see sort of what we would call crafted skills, where we see a lot of people using vector illustrations and all these different approaches to drawing. So it's really nice to sort of celebrate what we would call the traditional fashion illustrators that have their unique hand, have that approach to drawing that we really struggle to find now. And there's a really small number of these sort of characters in the market. So it's really nice to have sort of Petra with us today, and she's going to share her work with us. And I guess before you start sharing your work, Petra, what would be really nice to hear from you is your sort of journey into this field.
Yes. So hello to everyone. I started my career as not as illustrator, as I have made my education in a school of applied arts, traditional art techniques and paintings, graphic techniques, and so. Yeah, it was the introduction into the field of the art, and later in the years, I moved to Germany to have an education in fashion design, and it was the first touch with fashion illustration for me, with illustration as an art. So. It was the beginning of everything of the career of the illustrator, and yeah. Um,
And it's been good,
yes.
and you've
and
done
and
well.
I I would see it's really some years ago, and 20 years ago, it was a world without Instagram, without any AI, any. Okay, we had Photoshop at the beginning, but almost we've worked with paper, with scissors, with handmade techniques, and this is the world I came in. So. I would say I fell in love with all the traditional techniques, and um, yeah, this is also my person. I would say I love to world of painting on a paper with colors. Yeah.
And you've kind of because I kind of followed your work for quite a while now, and uh, what I guess from commissioning point of view, has most of your world moved more into live events, would you say?
Um, yes, actually, you're right. But live illustration was maybe first 2 or 3 years ago. Um, at the beginning, I was commissioned mostly for editorial works. I worked for some magazines like Cosmopolitan, made some covers, but commissioned works like editorial for a paper magazine. So it is it will be less now. It moved then to campaign for fashion brands, jewelry brands, and I started with live drawing first some years ago because um, I was always a bit afraid to get the people looking into my work. So directly in the live acting. I never liked sitting in front of the people and wanted that they look at my work, and it made me always nervous. And I would say I didn't have the experience of the drawing live. So first, some years ago, I have to feel there's something changed in the industry of illustration and the fashion illustration industry. And I would say live illustrating is something what make a really big step to forward. And we have really, I have inquiries in this field for live illustration, and I also see it in our FIDA um, members field. What are the FIDA
In
members
the,
doing
yeah,
now? So
and I guess you I, I guess the nice thing about live events, which is growing quite, I would say, quite big.
yeah,
Um, if you compare it to what you would be paid, obviously there's a lot of pressure, and you kind of get used to the pressure a little bit.
yes,
Is you're used to drawing anyway, and it becomes quite fun. And we've seen different experiences that people have had at live events. So there's the one where you're just drawing and you're giving people a piece of art, like a portrait or something like that. And I've read about other experiences where if there's a sale of a product, the illustration comes with part of the product, and that I've heard has been a bad experience because sometimes the people didn't buy the product, so the illustrator's sitting there doing nothing. Um, and then the other experience I've heard is people who've gone to events and then to sell their live event work and draw live at an event, and they're part of a sales package. And that's the worst experience. So if you think of different levels of me commissioning you, and you come in and you draw live and you give it away free, that's the best experience that anyone could have, because people are like, oh, it's free, it's lovely, I'm so lucky I get a gift. Where I guess the minute we've heard from a few people is when they have to pay for it, they go, oh, if I'm to pay for this, does it look like me? Is this me?
yes.
How good is it? And then there's a sort of questioning. So I guess picking them sort of live event experiences have to be quite smartly done, because uh, for your experience as a live event illustrator, if you're doing them, is you want it to feel as beautiful as possible, and that you can just get on with being the artist and the creative rather than a salesperson. I know you probably haven't had that experience, but I know some people online have spoken to me about their different offerings for live events. I don't know, what's the worst experience you've had at a live event?
The worst experience. Um, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe if the people say, okay, it's a portrait, but it's not me. And this is um, what is you have to get experience in the live drawing. You have to draw really much people in 1 hour. Maybe you have a foreign portrait 5 to 10 minutes, and it's not really much time. And you have to draw an expression. You are not drawing a portrait, rather than expression. So some people, I would say, they expect something more
Right.
like a portraiture, what you can do in 1 or 2 hours. So, but um, the thing I most love on the live illustration is to make the people happy, because the most of them are really happy. As you said, they become something free, something special, something unique, and is it better to get a photography or a live drawing? I would say always live drawing, because it's a photo you can make with your phone, but a live drawing is something really unique. So
And what's probably you'll show in some of your work, what's been the best experience you've had or the best moment that you can remember?
in the live illustration event, yeah, maybe the very first one I've drawn for a mess. It was in theater. I've drawn to the guests. They have a wonderful fashion mask on her face, on their face, and I've drawn the mask. I've prepared some masks for them, and then were wearing them on the event. So
Oh, nice. Good.
yeah,
So if you want to share your, because I know you've made a bit of a PDF for us to have a look at,
okay,
because you've got so much great work.
yeah. So I prepared a bit work. What can I show it? This is not live drawing illustration. This is something from the fashion field. It was a commission from Louis Vuitton some, I would say, 1 year ago. Yes, 1 year ago, 2024. Um, I can.
And would this be like for Louis Vuitton? How would this be used? Was it just for
It was a
documenting
pitch.
event? Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
it was a
pitch.
pitch originally, and unfortunately, I wasn't chosen for the job. But it wasn't a campaign. It was for teaching workshop in the industry, and how do they teach the people from Louis Vuitton? So for people they are working in a boutique worldwide for Louis Vuitton, or they are selling on special events, and I should illustrate some figures, some materials, colors, just to show the client my work, my style, and yeah, it was free. The only thing was I should illustrate one collection, and yeah, but I have chosen it because I think this is uh, this is a work what interpret my person.
Yeah. And because I'm starting to hear a lot about this is illustrators going into brands and uh, creating like a DNA for other people to learn from. So, like you going into Louis Vuitton or you going to show your illustrations, I think a lot of PR agencies are connecting with illustrators to set a look and feel that can then be set across the board for different brands, and I'm guessing it was kind of like that. Is that right?
Yes, yes, I would also say this.
Yeah, I'm seeing and more of that. Okay, and
You're
this?
right. This is the same job. This is what I really love in fashionization, to be free to experiment with colors, with shapes, with materials. And this is also what I learned in my education, um, to work with very different materials. And yeah, I love to hand painted brush strokes and mixed with fabrics. Yeah.
And do you know, because sometimes happens for me, did you see the illustrator who was used, or did you get to know who the other competition was? Because I remember when I go for commissions, I tend to know all the other artists who are like me. We all go for the same jobs. Do you hear it? Did you see who got it, or did you hear anything, or no, thank you, or what happened?
Uh, yeah, this sometimes I get some layouts of the work. Also, if there's internal use, I have the opportunity to look how they use the illustration in her booklets, in the books, in the presentations. But it is really something what you need to really ask. You don't get it automatically. Mostly I love to see if the illustrations are used on the products,
Yeah.
like packaging products. So this is really nice. But it's yeah, not always. You
Yeah,
have you have always to ask for see to work how it's used.
yeah, and
I don't know if you have another experience or have
no.
something
What I
different
think
from another artist.
what's quite nice. Well, it isn't nice, but it's an experience. Is you don't win all the jobs, and you go for many jobs, and you
Yeah.
hear about lots of jobs, and I've done it many times, and you're like, wow, it's an exciting job, and working for Dior or whoever. It's actually quite hard to be the selected one, and you never know why it doesn't always happen, but it's part of the system. Is you have to learn that you don't win everything,
Mm.
and that's hard to accept, but it's part of life.
Yes, yes, you're true. It's the life go on, and my clients have another projects and other jobs, and um, also if you're asking for some feedback on the job, um, mostly you get the feedback during the job, but not after the job is
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Petra, for presenting all these beautiful artworks for the little. How did you know about this job? Like, did the brand approach you directly? Was it through your agency, or did you directly reach out to them?
Yes, this job I was asked via Instagram. We have direct messages, but it's not always or often that I was asked in this way. I'm represented with an agency in Germany and worldwide, and most of the jobs I'm making for the agency. So the contact is not direct, but with my experience, I would say in the last 5 years, I have more and more direct inquiries from clients, and
On
uh,
Instagram, mostly?
mm, sorry, how's
On Instagram? So on Instagram?
Instagram is the way mostly I hear from the client. I saw you on Instagram and now I ask for a job, but the jobs are not coming with directly through the Instagram.
So mainly from your website, is it? They email you directly?
Website, yes. They say they see some work from Instagram and my portfolio on Instagram, but this is not way how they booked. They come maybe years later or months later and say, I saw first your work on Instagram and then I made search on your website. I watched you and I seen your work is constantly good and then they are asking directly via email or via my agency.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Okay, so we can go through. This is work I
For us.
done for our caravan.
Yeah. It was lovely.
Yes, thank you. It was nice and is here this is a sample of work I have I mostly not have time to work free because I'm really busy, which is great. I'm busy with my jobs with projects that are commissioned, but I also appreciate the free work where can I experiment with shapes, with layers, and I really love the project you have on Feeder. So thank you, Patrick. This is great.
Good.
Tell us more. What was the project about, Patrick or Petra? What was the context?
So we reach out to many brands, and Paco Rabanne, we did a project with Ungaro in Paris. And while I was in Paris, I met the head of Paco Rabanne and managed to speak to him. And he said he'll review the work and he'll give us some feedback. And so for our members who are part of our membership, so we keep a lot of these projects underground. So it will be internal, and to see if they go into other projects. So like we did Ungaro, and then I think Kelly Bailey's now done two print collections for Ungaro, and then Paco Rabanne. They look at it, and then like Petra was saying, months later they show it to their clients. I've worked with this person before. I worked with them for Yves Saint Laurent. So I know them quite well, and they commissioned me quite a lot. So I kind of went back to them and I said, "Ah, you're at Paco Rabanne," and now he's moving to somewhere else. So I'll follow his journey and then say, "Okay, here's their work." So usually we get some of the members' work via little projects that we do internally. So this was another members project, and we kind of share it with all the members. They get an opportunity, they get feedback from Paco Rabanne, and some then lead on to commissions. We did Chappelle, we've done lots of little ones. So if you have the time, like Petra finds the time, it's quite nice because sometimes you're really busy and you feel like you're just doing commissions all the time. Where here is an opportunity to say, I'm going to do what I want. I can go back to some of my creative projects and not be dictated to. And when we tend to do projects for brands, we really try to not brief the illustrators too hard, because me as a creative, when the brief becomes too restricted, the creativity ends. So we try to leave it as open as possible so everyone can add in their flavor, and then the best work comes from it. I remember working for Yves Saint Laurent. They just said, you need to do something with the opium bottles, you need to do this. And I had no one telling me what to do. And the best outcomes happen that way. where if the brief is too restricted, and I think art directors don't, only a really good art director who has courage will let the illustrator be themselves. Usually they'll dictate quite heavy, and then you end up feeling there's no connection between you and the work. The work is just you fulfilling a brief. So the best briefs, which are luxury, is probably like this, which leads into something else. Um, and you know you're quite lucky to have these opportunities. So I think it's good that Petra, like I do as well, take on some of these challenges where you go, I'm going to do what I want and no one tells me what to do, and I'm going to have fun and enjoy. And then usually what happens, which I don't know for you, Petra, but for me, new work always comes through from this work. So I
Yeah,
always get new work. People go, I saw you did this. So even just doing it leads on to new paid work. I don't know if that happens for you, Petra, but it happens for me.
absolutely with you. And it feels like it could be only for students, but it's not. The thing I love is I work in as a fashion illustrator since more than 20 years, but um, in the industry you have never the opportunity to to create something free in your style with the brief from a fashion brand, but with your interpretation. The mostly job you do is are really strictly briefed. Um, Mostly you have no freedom on your style. So this is really great. You can create something different, and after then you can show it also your clients, and it feels like I would be in the school again.
Yeah, good.
It's
But if you work for some really good clients, like when I designed for Dior, I had no restrictions. They just told me you need to draw something related to the heritage of Dior, and you can do whatever you want. And they just sent me hundreds of pictures, and they said you do anything, which is
mm,
a luxury. And
lucky.
yeah, so it was a luxury, and it's very rare that happens. And then the outcome was 10 times better than we expected because they gave me full freedom with how the inks were going to be used, how many colors I'm going to use on the scarf. I had no restrictions. So it was like the best scenario ever. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
this is why I try to do this, and I don't let the clients have much say. We've just done another project for a jewelry brand, and I think if they had briefed us, we would do a worse job. Where if we do what we want and show the client, they're like, we would never imagine how good this is. And it's like, if only you had the confidence to let the illustrators do their job.
Yeah, it's true. It's really a dream of each illustrator to do something in their style, to be completely free. You have always a bit brief, but yeah, this is great. I have one client that it's similar to them what you say, Patrick, and it's Swarovski. I can jump into the Swarovski projects here. And this is a client I have since 2013. Yeah. So more than 10 years. And I'm drawing for them mostly 2 times a year. And we are creating launchers. So if Swarovski produce some new shapes of crystals. Um, they let them draw from an illustrator, and the brief is you should show the next client, which are fashion designers, stars, people from music industry, furniture, architecture, to show them how you can use the new crystals. And they give me a brief. Every time I have a brief with 4 different teams. And I have the products. If you see here on the left, this is a shape which I should draw these crystals, and then you can show these crystals on a different maybe a bag or piece of fabric, and this is one illustration whatever many years ago. I drew also some jewelry for them, and they have this earring and a necklace, and I say, please could you draw something in this style, and the theme is maybe Baroque or blue wave or blue flower, and you have absolutely freedom in how you draw it on a person, on a figure. The most important is we can good see the product. So maybe next here some line drawings here on the back. You have some pearls incorporated in the leather strap, and the only brief from Swarovski is please draw it on a clutch bag. And how I show the bag that's completely free. So I really love the cooperation with them, and it's yeah, 2 times a year I can draw some illustrations from fashion industries, and I really love the way how can I show my work into the fashion industry.
Good. They're beautiful. I love the line drawings. They're lovely.
Yeah, I love line drawing too. I wish I had more projects with only pencil, because I really love it.
And what was the illustrations made for? It was to share with their influencers or external projects?
Yes, this is only for internal use. I know earlier they have they printed some books for trades or for free trades for designers, and in these books they show the products with the illustrations together. Unfortunately, they are not for everyone.
And they reached out to you directly, or it was through your agency this time,
This
since
is
it's an
from
old
agency,
client?
and instead another agency works from Swarovski, with Swarovski company together. So there are 2 agencies between client and me.
Okay.
Yeah. So here maybe you can see the product here on the right. This is some mesh with some crystal pearls, and I draw. Maybe sometimes there are more technical drawings with some of details pearls, but sometimes I only shapes, only circles, line drawings. But I like the composition between the product and the drawing. How they use the product with the drawing. Yeah, this is really a dream job. I wish I had more of them. Um,
The other thing I'm noticing, Petra, is when I look at the work coming out from different countries, Germany has a very good connection to fashion illustration, which I never really knew that Germany was connected to fashion because they don't have a big fashion week in Germany.
yeah.
It's still quite
Um,
small, but the fashion illustration that is coming from Germany, because I see so many we see the ones that are coming through, and they have this really good understanding, and similar to the Russian illustration. So I see Russians and Germans, they have a really uh, this almost old school fine art approach to fashion illustration, very traditionalist approaches, watercolors and inks and brushes. Is this part of university teaching, or because it seems like a trend that I see through,
mhm.
I don't want to mention too many names, but Anya Kabul and yourself, and there's many that I see that come
Yeah.
through, and they have this really good understanding of drawing, almost a combination of technical drawing, fine art illustration through watercolor and brushes. Is that because of university, or like I don't know?
This is a good question. Um, I would say, regarding me, the reason why I have so many techniques, because I learned and I schooled it at applied arts, and I learned everything from painting like acrylic, watercolor, oil painting, through the graphical techniques. And I didn't draw only fashion. Um, I did draw everything, nature, architectural, and it was not an education for fashion illustration or illustration. It was an applied art. So maybe this is what can I say? But yeah, we have good universities here, and maybe it's because the people are under universities and they learned first art and or graphic education, graphical design, and then yeah, stepping into the world of illustration. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed because I guess in the UK we if you look at illustrators because from universities we use mixed media, colored pencils, very sort of fragile, almost abstract ways of drawing,
Mm.
where if we head more into even Holland, but into Germany, is they have this really almost great understanding of painting and drawing and image making from a very traditional understanding of what it is to draw. And I see that moves where in the UK, we're like, if you go to school, they're like, draw with your left hand, draw with your eyes closed. You spend a lot of your time actually going away from what is good traditional drawing. And I
Mm.
think, and I remember at Dior and at Tom Ford and all these different companies, they really love what you do. They love it. So if you went for a meeting, this is the work they desire, is this traditional skill. And I think
Yeah.
people take it for granted because they want to see that understanding of hand and eye coordination. And all through France and all of the different luxury brands, Hermes, we see it quite a lot in Hermes as well, is they want this good understanding. Where if you look at UK brands like Burberry, we're seeing they're working with Helen Bullock and people like that, where it's much more almost out there,
Right.
expressive drawing. So there's a real sort of shift in, but the luxury French brands, and I guess if you think about them brands, what they really desire, and Italian is a little bit more, I guess, longer, elongated, and a little bit more illustrative. They like working with graphic novel illustrators, but the French brands love what you do. If you think of like Dior and people like that, and the American brands would love what you do. So I
Mm,
guess the Americas and the French are the desirability of what you do. When I've gone there, this is the sort of flavor of what they request when they show me that they stuff that they look at, and even the ink drawing. You've got that ink drawing line. I remember going to Dior and they were saying it's too aggressive. You need to draw with a watercolor brush. So it's
yes.
interesting to see how they think differently. So what you're doing here is really interesting to see. Um, and they're so passionate about the way you draw. It's so rare to hear people say, no, no, I love your hand and I love the way that you draw this sort of thing. Stick to that because that's what we want, and you capture that. So it's really nice to see, and I can see why the brands really gravitate towards what you do, because you have this sort of almost dreamlike cinematic way of
Yeah.
drawing, which is nice for you, which I guess
Yes. Yes. And this is also the feedback I'm getting from my clients. They love the traditional techniques and the skills in them. And this is what I always wanted to stay with me. I like also modern techniques and people they are drawing with some digital tools in the last years, also with AI. But this is nothing what I wanted to mix with my style. I always wanted to um, stay with my style, with my traditional techniques was what I learned in the school some years ago. So
yeah.
yeah,
Good. Good. Anyway, carry on. It's excellent.
thank you. Yeah, I have some more samples from jobs from some years ago. This was a little campaign for Instagram I've done with David Morris. Again, product combined with illustration, which I love really. This you can see products and photographs with jewelry, but this is something special if you're mixed with illustration. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Here again, this is one I have created some months ago with a new client, Tamara Komoli, which is high jewelry designer. And this is also simple simple lines, and the brief was to show the products, how you can style a necklace, a bracelet, an earring. Another jewelry brand. So as you see, I'm mostly working with jewelry brands. Show the last campaign.
Nice.
And always traditional techniques. Carolinum's is a traditional house in Czech in Prague.
I
We're
guess
presenting.
because jewelry is crafted. So I
Yes,
guess the craft of drawing goes with jewelry. They want to see this sort of processing, and I think
yeah,
it's the one product that is really made through craft. It isn't like imaginary. It is made. Someone's a jeweler and they're making it, and it's like here's the design process to outcome. And I think that's why illustrators really work well with jewelry brands, that's the one area we see the most.
yes, that's right. some more work, another campaign from last year. But I'm also drawing, I love to draw nature, flowers. This is something I do for Faber-Castell. Packaging design from last
Nice.
year. Yeah, another packaging design for a French fragrance. Um, yeah, and here live drawing for Hermes last Christmas. It was really nice.
This is beautiful.
It was some free work, some free lines. I've started with draw some bags and Christmas trees and Pegasus and rodeo and the people the clients loved them. I was surprised, but yeah, we have spoke first about it. What you can achieve with something unique, something very small, but as a gift for the client. This is what is really the best on the live drawing. Again, packaging design live drawing for Miu Miu, where I draw.
They did a huge range of this Miu Miu. I saw hundreds of people doing these. Did you see lots of people doing them online?
Yes, I saw them also.
It was good. It was good to see they sort of set this whole amount of people across the board, and
Yeah,
you enjoy doing these. These look really fun.
yes. It's a really funny work. Another one for Lacoste some weeks ago. Yeah, that's me. Some photographs from my studio, and okay, so mostly I'm drawing with watercolors, ink, pencils, and yeah, I scan the work, and I only make some small adjustments in Photoshop. This is the digital tools I use. Nothing more.
Yeah, no, Petra, I think it was, I've been slowly trying to get you to come on and talk. So it's great that you're here because, a great sort of range of work and it's so nice that you're a very commercial illustrator as well. So you get lots of work through advertising. You're always working, which is good to see. So
Yeah,
you're very busy, um, and you're a professional. And I think it's nice because we have an array of people that do from education to you as a commercial artist and really understanding what it is to be a commercial artist, having an agent, working with an agent, having them experiences as well. And I'm just trying to think about what's quite nice for someone like to hear from you is you still do projects like what we give you, and you find the time to fit it in. And I think people don't realize that even the busiest creatives try and find time to do more stuff just to be free. And I think it's good to hear that from you. Like it was really nice to hear that you work when you're busy on other projects. You always stay busy. Um, you are constantly working, which is great to see. You're sharing. You're nice about what you do, which is good because we meet an array of people and there's like little gangs and we know about the fashion illustration, well, fashion world, not fashion, not always fashion illustration, but the fashion world can feel a little bit sometimes a bit fight a catty space. um, and it's great to see your sort of portfolio of images and work, and great to hear from you. And and the other thing is we're lucky to get a bit of time with you because I know you're busy, and we're all everyone's too busy to do everything. So I'm really grateful that you managed to find a little bit of time to fit us in, um, And I guess behind you, because I'm looking behind you, how clean your studio looks, which I can't film in my studio because it looks terrible. So in your studio, it looks nice and organized, and the mannequin, and so you look very. It looks organized. So it's good to see it
Yeah.
from you, Petra. It's well planned, which I think's great, and
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
which is good. And I guess have you got anything exciting that you can share that you're doing now, or because I know
Um,
usually we're not allowed to share much.
yeah, I'm working again with Swarovski now on the next launch. This is a project I have seen from I've showed previous, but something different I've created some months ago is for Jersey Island. I've created a collection of stamps, postal stamps, and they are waiting for approving from the United Kingdom. So I hope very much that they get approval and we can go on printing of my very first postal stamps and. Yeah, but different projects. It's not only fashion industry, and this is what would I say, and maybe given small advice to people they start actually with illustrations or for students is to draw really everything and try to take every job that came because you need to practice, you need to draw as much as possible every day to get better and better and to get the experience. Not wait only for jobs they are amazing in the fashion industry or something, but because you need the experience and the client need to see the whole range of work you are able to do. So in my work career, I painted architecture, cars, medical instructions, and everything what you can draw. And I always, if I have time, I always said yes. I do it because I know it is something you can learn from every job. This is very important to draw
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah. Good, good. And I think that the first, I guess one of the main things I was told at university is take on every job. And it's a luxury if you can refuse jobs, but usually you take them all on and you learn from them, and maybe things go wrong or whatever. But it's a learning experience, and you build up a knowledge. And I think that's it. And you can see it in your work. And your work now is just the end result of lots of hard work. And I think that's the conclusion that we kind of get to this is you've done many things and you'll look back and go, oh God, I had to do this and I did this. But now you're seeing nice results. And I think it's a journey, it's a long journey. And I think it's really nice to see and it's great to see your work and we're so lucky. So thank you, Petra, and it's been great and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you too. And yeah, thank you for inviting me to
Great.
this nice talk.
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And we'll speak soon and have a good day and enjoy the sun.
You too. Have a good
And lovely
time.
to meet you.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye bye all.